Autism Heroes Carlow, Superintendent Anthony Farrell is here with the community, Garda, Conor Egan as well, Garda Esme was with us last year as well, Reverend Pat, and all who are involved. And everybody, if you just look at the page that is there, especially, I suppose, it's wonderful to have Mayor Paul Doogue with us here, and thank you, Mayor, for being here, along with Louise Burnett of Autism Heroes in Carlow, and how privileged we are to do this. But you will see all who are involved of every denomination and creed. So, for example, apologies, I wouldn't have expected those who were there to be able to reach on today, but they will look in at the Thursday and Friday of next week, if only for a little while. Brilliant Reverend Pat is here. Also to everybody, like last year, besides the Methodist, Roman Catholic, Presbyterian personnel being mentioned, we also had the Islamic Centre, where the chairperson of the mosque, Hakeem, came down and said, I think Anthony, you and I were talking to him the day he came down, if you might remember, but he came down. So they're open as well. I suppose with Louise, of course, everybody, the idea with all about Carlow, and thank you so much to Mr. Anthony Indy, we really, really appreciate it. And Wayne Fennell, Reverend Pat, and Marie Fennell as well. Rory Healy ropes in with us for the PA, and of course Autism Heroes in Carlow, and basically it runs itself. It's over the 2 days, no hidden agenda with us. We're reliant on the brilliant goodwill of all the people in Carlow, in the Fairgreen, and thanks so much to John Brophy, of course, who's the manager there of the centre of the Fairgreen Centre. And of course, John facilitates what we're doing, and people coming out can give whatever cash they can afford. It's difficult times, but also for the tap and pay, which we have that facility through Autism Heroes as well. Without further ado, everybody, with All About Carlow here being recorded today, transmitted to the Nationalist KCLR as well, and all the social media as well. Mayor Doogue, as first citizen of Carlow, may I invite you just to make a comment about, I suppose, twofold, the appeal that we're doing. Last year and the year before, you were very supportive, you would have been aware of it, but I know dear to your heart, of course, is Autism Heroes in Carlow.
Yes, thank you, Reverend Paul. The real hero, I suppose, is this young lady, I'll be honest. She's got it going in Carlow over the last couple of years. I did make a pledge to Louise that for this year I would do everything in my power to try and drive it, push it. And I'm delighted that Louise and her team has been a great successful year, especially with the swim-a-thon. Of course, Louise is only one person. I think it took the whole town to achieve what it is achieved, but I think it's above expectation. And Anthony Heaney, Albert Carroll, did such a fantastic job on it. There's no way to say different. But it's an honour, to wear this and to be here today to support you, Reverend Paul. And I threw out my hand once a month ago when you asked me, and I said, would you please do it for Autism Heroes? And you did. But the lovely thing about it is it's total, you could say, whole town, the whole county, and there's all denominations, and there's totally non-discrimination, any form or shape, which I love about this. It's not about anything other than one agenda, to do the best we can for Autism Heroes, for the families and their children. I've said enough, but I'm delighted to be here and honoured to be here and to work with this fantastic lady and to see Garda Síochána here. And I know they're hugely involved in everything, but it's great, and thank you, Reverend.
Okay, well, Mayor Doogue, thank you so much. But also too, it's something that you talked about and highlighted what is collaborative with our support for the focus of Autism Heroes. Louise Burnett, no better than you just to say a word for us, please.
I wrote down something, I hope that's okay. I won't forget anything. I suppose, firstly, I'll just say how Autism Heroes started quickly was my oldest son, Oisin, was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. We lived in Australia. He went through the Australian system until he was nearly 8, and when we returned home to Ireland he had weekly therapy, and the world of services we possibly could ever have asked for our family and for Oisin. And then when we came home we realised there was so little for families from the autistic community in Ireland. So it started with a coffee morning, and it grew to, I suppose, where we are today in 3 years. So we're very lucky, and we appreciate all the support we get. But that's just a bit of background of how it started. And since then, our other little boy Parker has been diagnosed just 2 months ago with autism too. So we've got 2 very special reasons to keep going. But I suppose what I've said, firstly, I'd like to thank Reverend Paul and Mayor Paul for choosing Autism Heroes this year for Black Santa. We do rely heavily on fundraising events like these, and Black Santa does mean the world to us for that reason. I suppose from our point of view, what we do is we provide support to families across Carlow and parts of Laois from the autistic community. We provide individualised swimming lessons, Easter and summer camps, sensory friendly blessings in Holy Cross Church for during Easter and Christmas, so families can attend, maybe families that couldn't necessarily attend Mass on a usual Sunday. Santa will be there this year in selection boxes, so it's very special for families. We provide mental health workshops tailored specifically to parents of autistic children. Support schools around education and autism, which is really important at the minute with newly opened autism classes right across the country, and again with very little support. We also provide, I suppose, one-to-one in other ways services for families, like monthly support groups. My phone is always open to whoever needs it at any time. I've gotten messages at all hours of the day and night, and I'm always happy to answer the phone. But events, again, like Black Santa is what makes us stay going and how we can stay going as an organisation. And to be able to give these services and therapies and support to families that really need it and also really deserve it. So thank you so much again, and we are beyond grateful for your support. Thank you.
So thank you very, very, very much. We're so glad to support. I mean, I also acknowledge Mr. Richie Hogan here, who is our tour guide and caretaker here out facilitating today. And Richie has posters that he's going to bring forward to us, Richie. Oh, yes. The ones that you have to present to Louise, just to be able to distribute for the Autism Heroes in Carlow. A bit wet.
I'm going to have this now, so
and everybody, we couldn't do what we're doing without the first year we were in Potato Market at the Liberty Fountain. The second year we were in the Fairgreen Shopping Centre. And of course we couldn't do it at all without support of An Garda Síochána and Superintendent Anthony Farrell. May I ask you please, for all about Carlow and for all of us, just to, I suppose, make a comment about the Black Santa appeal, that you've been intrinsically involved, but also for Autism Heroes, please, as well.
We just acknowledge Louise and the tremendous work she's doing with Autism Heroes and Carlow and Autism in general. I'm going to delighted to be associated with this. Just to acknowledge these type of things are community-based things. I think as communities together we're stronger in how we support different organisations. It's fantastic this year that there's going to be a focal point there through the Autism Heroes. We're delighted ourselves to support it. I think communities and societies, we're not judged by how we treat the strong, but it's how we treat the weak and the vulnerable. And I think that's where we need to focus efforts. There's tremendous collaborative approach to different organisations in Carlow that through the Autism Heroes. So delighted to support anything we can do at all. We are for this project. I just go forward. So and well done for all the work there.
And the Superintendent, thank you so much. Reverend Pat, I suppose, is one of the clergy or the religious leaders who are involved in this, or their representatives if they can reach on it. But there's no shortage of goodwill. Reverend Pat, would you make a little comment just for us, please?
Well, just to say, I mean, this year's cause would be very dear to my heart as well. But it's just when you approached me, it's 3 years ago this year, to help out. I was very glad to help, and I know it's a good cause, and it's so hard to get people. Everybody's busy, but it is hard to get people and have a rota there to keep a face that people will know. And I think you need the face that people know, and then you they're embarrassed to walk past.
And thank you, Reverend Pat. Of everybody who is involved, of all the traditions and beliefs in the town as well that are here. And Reverend Pat, thank you. Mr. and Mrs. Fennell are here, are integral to us over the past as well. And Wayne, if I may ask you, today, of course, with your help and in the past as well, with your involvement here within our own parish and domain, but also to amongst us, would you make an observation or comment, please, as well?
No, I can remember watching the Black Santa. It started in the north of Ireland in St. Anne's Cathedral, and it's a place I visited. I was in Belfast about a year ago, and I thought of it straight when I hit the front door. This is where the Black Santa, and it's great to see a tradition, and it gives a focus on people that need a bit more help at Christmas. And for me, this is all about communities all coming together in Carlow. And just talking to Paul, you know, like sometimes people say there's not a lot going on in Carlow. There's a hell lot. There's a great community spirit in this town. Something, as a Carlow man, proud Carlow person, I'm very proud way people come together. And there's always been a tradition, maybe in a quieter sense, that all the churches would have worked very closely together on a lot of things that people mightn't realise. And it's great to see the ecumenical spirit and the wider community aspect of it. So I wish everyone well for it, and I hope it's and especially, and for autism, I think it's so important. It'll give a focus on autism, you know, and it's great to see that the focus is on autism and the work that people involved do. So I'm delighted to hear just lend my support and Marie's support as well as ordinary Carlow folk. We see something good like that.
Mr. Fennell, thank you very, very much. And Marie, there's an old Irish saying which is, August Nadini Neta, a Cummican priest of Calvary. Sometimes we're like the angels in the sense, ascending the hill. And I think today, Louise, what we're trying to do is to offer you with Mr. Paul Doogue, our mayor, and Garda Síochána, and all of us who are here, and all who will help out if they can in tough times, with all about Carlow, Mr. Anthony Heaney, all the people that we reach. If people can come along to help us and to support whatever it is, it's much appreciated indeed. In the Fairgreen Shopping Centre on Thursday, the 11th of December, which is next Thursday, and Friday the 12th, 2:30 to 5:30. Mrs. Fennell, is there anything that I suppose you could offer today for us?
Well, I'm going to just say this one word, and it's an Irish expression or a shanukkel, Ninarka Corlacela. In unity, there's strength. When we pull together, everything happens. That's it. Yeah.
Well, that I think you can say no better than that. And everybody, just as a way of concluding, Mr. Anthony Heaney, is there anything you would like to say on behalf of All About Carlow? You should so. It's brilliant work, Anthony, and thank you for covering.
You put me in a spot. I'm terrible at these things. The last time I spoke was at a funeral. Unfortunately, I made everybody laugh. I don't know, that was a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I suppose it's funny. Without further ado, Mayor Doogue, may I ask you with Louise to take, for example, the cloak that is here, the black cloak that is here. And Reverend Pat, may I use you as a model, please?
It's probably going to be too long.
Okay, and just this cloak here, and this is because we will have more cloaks, and I'm conscious of my own colleague, Reverend George James, that will be here as well, and roping in as well. And of course, it would be a nephew of Reverend. I'm going to ask you to take the other clothes as well. And I'm going to ask you, Louise, if you don't mind, in being the model, place it around Louise's shoulder. And everybody, I know there's a cup of tea and hospitality. If anybody is not in a hurry, don't be in a rush. But may I ask you, I suppose, Louise, at this stage, it's probably in front of the lovely logo for Anthony. There's a cane there. Thank you, everybody. I just put on the spot there.
You were. You did well. I always actually.
And Louise, there we are, and we got Reverend Pat and both of you in here. And everybody, let's go in for the bit. Richie, do you want to come in for the photograph here, please? And we can get everybody a break. And I suppose, Mayor Doogue, there's nothing else, I suppose, in the end for Anthony to record. I mean, officially launching the 2025 campaign. It's hard to credit. Since Anthony and I, we finished up with a cup of coffee with Anthony, if you remember, in the Fairgreen a year ago, almost a year. Jesus, unbelievable where the year has gone. But
all the
anyway,
years flown.
Right, so